Alright, so welcome to GCDIM Tech Hub. My name is Dozie. I'll be your tutor throughout this program. Alright, but first and first, what is GCDIM? GCDIM stands for God Can Do Its Mission. Alright, so in this tutorial, or in this training rather, I'm going to be teaching you HTML. Alright, so let's dive straight to the next slide. Alright, so in this HTML class, I'm going to be teaching you HTML5. You might be wondering what is HTML5? Alright, so we'll be discussing about HTML, right? As a beginner that's just jumping into the tech world for the very first time, you might be asking yourself, what is HTML? This question come across your heart or do come across all beginners' mind when they hear programming or when they hear the word HTML. This might be your frequent question, and in this tutorial I'll be answering all of these questions in details. Firstly, what is HTML? Next question I want to ask, how to get started with HTML? Can I build real life software using HTML? How long will it take to know HTML? And lastly, what are the requirements to build or to work with this HTML? Alright, so firstly, what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Alright? Then this HTML, it's the foundation of every web page. Every web page you see on the server, on the internet today, is built on what? HTML. HTML is the foundation of every web pages. Alright? HTML is not a programming language, yeah, because you cannot use it to solve a real-time problem. Rather, it's a scripting language which you can actually build on top. Now you can take HTML, you can see HTML as let me use a building example. Those engineers, whenever you see a building, first of all there's a foundation, then there's a rough sketch of the building before you now begin to add your zinc, your cement, and your paint and every other thing. All right, so that foundation and that rough work you actually saw can be linked to HTML. Alright, so HTML is just the structure, the basic structure of every website. That's why it's called Hypertext Markup Language. Alright, so how to get started with HTML? You need to learn the basics of HTML. Alright, so but don't worry yourself, we're going to be covering the basics and the documents of HTML in this tutorial. Alright, so the next one here is, can I build real live software using HTML? Yes, because HTML is the basic foundation of every web page. That means if you want to build a software or a website, you must first of all use HTML. That makes it very important. Alright, it makes it very important, and you can literally build a structure of a software using HTML. Alright, but not like you can build a real website as in a functional website. No, but you can build the structure using HTML. Alright, so the next question, how long will it take to know HTML? Yeah, you can basically or literally it takes up to 7 days to get done with HTML. Alright, but in this tutorial I'm going to be doing that in the next 4 days. Alright, so reason be that we're going to use the or keep to the programming rules, which says 5 hours a day. So you're going to be coding for 5 hours a day. Alright, so when you get this, then for this you're good to go with HTML. Alright, so next question is, what are the requirements? Having a very good laptop is one of the basic requirements. Internet access is also one of the requirements, and the most important one there is your passion to learn, the zeal to learn. All right, zeal to learn. So these are the requirements, and these are things you will be needing for you to get done or for you to dive into HTML. All right, so like I said, we're going to be covering the HTML documents and all of that. So these number one here, we have the doc type. This doc type declares the document type. This tells the computer the current HTML. We are working with HTML5. Remember a couple couple of minutes ago or seconds ago, I told you that in this tutorial we're going to be learning HTML5, and you might be wondering, for us to have HTML5, that means we have HTML4, 3, 2, and 1. Yes, you're actually right. We have HTML1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But in this tutorial, we're going to be learning HTML5 because this is the most current used HTML5, and it has this tag updated and good. All right. So previously we used HTML4, and some tags that are in HTML5 are not in HTML4. All right, so they're not longer functionals and all of that, and some codes have been made, or some tags rather have been made advanced in this HTML5 that makes you write your HTML code fine and perfect. All right, in HTML4, HTML3, we don't have the audio tag where you can actually import audios, videos, and all of that. But in HTML5, we do that, and we actually have the controls on how to control those audios and videos. All right, so these are the reasons why we're going to be using HTML5, which is the most current HTML. Now, the next here is the HTML, that is the root folder. All right, so every code you'll be writing will have to be under this HTML. Then the next will have the head, the metadata container, have the title, like the name implies, it's a title. All right, this is where you put in the title of your websites. It's going to be the homepage, login, or any other thing. All right, so don't worry about all of this. When we dive into tutorial, practical aspect of it, you're going to be seeing all of this. So have the body, just like your letter, where you put in your body, and just like your letter, your letter with your body that contains the contents of that letter, or the information you want to display on the internet. So those goes into the body. All right, you might be wondering the heading and the border, the head and the border and the body. Sorry, whatever that goes inside the head is not being displayed on the internet, but is being rendered by the computer. All right. Whatever that is inside the head cannot be seen by your users. Whatever that is inside this head tag cannot be seen by your users, except it's inside the body tag. And that's why all our contents will be going directly inside the body tag. And lastly, HTML deals with tags, elements. All right, so in the next tutorial, day 2, we're going to be talking in depth these tags. All right, so without further ado, let us dive straight to the practical aspect of it. And please don't just watch tutorials, always practice. Always practice. All right, because you will learn by just watching tutorials. I do tell people a lot, especially beginners. They don't feel like this tutorial is good, or you can watch for the whole day, and if you don't practice, you will never get perfect. You have a whole lot of good things in mind, tons of good projects to build, but once you don't practice, or whenever you don't practice, you can never get it. All right, so if you're just jumping into this video for the very first time, this is GCDIM, God Can Do It Tech Hub. All right, so please feel free and do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, all right, and smash the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we post content like this. Definitely YouTube is going to notify you first, because you actually smash that notification bell. So what are you waiting for? Before we dive straight to the practical aspects, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to your friends, or your pals, your family members, those that want to go into programming. This is a perfect tutorial for you. Okay, welcome back. So in this tutorial, we just dive straight to the practical aspect of this training for today's class. So without wasting much of our time, let me dive straight to my VS Code. But before I go straight to my VS Code, so what is VS Code? VS Code is an IDE. And what is IDE? IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So this is where you'll be writing all your code, your HTML code, your CSS code, your JavaScript, your Python, and every other code. So we have literally we have thousands of or tons of IDEs out there, but for this tutorial, we're going to be using VS Code because VS Code is a beginner's friendly IDE. All right, so you can just lay your hands or wrap your head of it. So it's very, very important and um, the best actually. The best actually. The next thing again before you start writing your code, you need to have a folder where all your files, your websites will be saved or will be stored. All right. So before you build a website, you need to have come to your PC. You might go to your PC. You might want to save it anywhere, documents, desktop, or anywhere. But I prefer saving my files in my local disk. There's my root folder. All right. So when you get to hacking or when you get to using the command lines, you will understand this root folder a lot. So this tutorial I'm going to be using my local disk. So I'll just come over. I will just have, okay, I have GCDIM already. So for this tutorial, let me just create let me just give it a new, let me create a new folder. I'm going to give it GCDIM Tech Hub. All right, so I'm going to be GCDIM Tech Hub. So what you can do, you just need to select this file, open with VS Code. Open with VS Code. So I'm using Windows 11. Yours might be different. Yours interface might be very, very, very much different. All right. Okay, so our terminal, sorry, our IDE has been opened up for us. You have something like this. You just disregard this. So you come over to this place. This is where we're going to be creating our first file. So in HTML has what we call extension. All right. So you need to create your extension. This extension, you might want to give your file any name. You might want to give it file. You might want to give it GCDIM. You want to give it your name. You might want to give it any name. But the rules or the syntax says you must end that name with the HTML extension. All right. If not, your browser is not going to render that code as HTML. All right. It's going to render that code as TXT file. So that's very, very important. You have to wrap your heads off around the extensions. Every programming language has their own extensions. We have the CSS, we have the Python, we have the PHP, JavaScript, C++, and all of that. All right. So this tutorial we'll just focus on HTML. Right. So we're going to give this. Let's give it home dot ht. All right. So that is G. HTML. All right. So this is it. Make sure it ends with this HTML extension. You might want to give any name. You want to give this any name. I want to give it go. You might want to give it con. You want to give it about us, everything and all of that. So this is it. This is it. All right. Previously, we're going to be discussing about the doc type. Sorry, I just want to bring out the roadmap so we'll be on the same page. All right, so this roadmap is going to help us a whole lot. So we'll just focus and we don't just go off the track. Where did I save that? Where did I save that? So I just want us to have the roadmap. So all right, I think I'll have it. Okay, here we go. I remember we said we're going to be using HTML5, and this HTML5, what it does, it tells the computer the HTML version we are using, but currently we are using HTML5. We are using HTML5. So for you to declare that, we're going to use, just if you're on iPhone, sorry, Windows, just hit your alt key, then hit this, then you hit tab, sorry, go again, your alt key, 1, then you hit tab. So it's going to generate, this is called boilerplate. All right, this is called boilerplate, and this is how we declare our HTML5. This is how we tell the computer that we are actually working with HTML5. As you can see, like I told you earlier, that we'll have the header, we'll have the HTML, which is the root folder, and this is the HTML here, right? So this is the HTML here, this is the root folder. Everything goes inside, sorry, it's not here. Everything goes inside here, all right? So this is the root folder, and this is the language. You might want to have ESPN, you might want to have FR, which is France, and you want to have IRM, which is India, and all of that. So, but for this tutorial, we're just going to be using English, so stick to English, all right? So now this is the head, which contains the metadata, all right? So this is the metadata here. This helps in search engine. This helps in search engine. You want to give it your description, meta description, and all of that. But that's way more advanced for us right now. But what we can do is have a meta. You can have your meta description and all of that. So you can give it literally any name. This helps out a lot in what SEO. But for now, we're just gonna stick to this because that was a way more advanced. All right. So then next is our title. Remember we talked about title. Say title. This displays the title of your web page. All right. So come over to this place. We'll give this a title. Let us say HTML 101. All right, so HTML 101. This is totally beginner's course. All right, so I want to do something. All right, so then this is the body. This is where all the tags goes inside your content and every other things. So we have let's say we have the p tag. So the paragraph, please don't try to memorize all of this. This is for another tutorial, like another day's tutorial, but just doing this just to show you how. Let's wrap. Now let me do alt Z. So this is gonna wrap up the text for me. Lorem Ipsum, that's cool. Then we're gonna have let's come over to this place. Let's give it a H1. Alright, so say my first HTML code. My first HTML code, so we save it. Alright, so as you can see, this goes inside the body. Alright, so like I told you guys earlier during the introduction of this course, that the body is just like your letter, where you put in your informations. You want to display to your uncle, you want to display to your dad, depending on who you're sending the letter to. So that's how HTML works also. Every content goes straight inside the body tag. So let us open this, come over to this place. Before then, you can go to your extension, go to your files extension here, you click on it. Then you can go and search for live server. As you can see, I have my own installed here. So what this live server does, it helps us to auto load our web page instead of going to your internet and start reading. Once you save here, automatically it's saved on the web server. All right, so you don't need to start saving you don't need to start refreshing manually and all of that. So this is the extension you'll be needing. Live server, you just come to this place here, come to here, this place extensions, that is the extensions marketplace. Then you search for live server. All right, so when you're done with that, you can just head over to our class. Let's continue from where we stopped. Okay, so let's just quickly run this. For you to run this code, if you have installed your live server, you can see live server here, right? So you can click on it, or you can literally come to this run. Okay, starting port for us. All right, so that's fine. good. As you can see, this is our code. Now let me tell you something. Let me just show you something real quick here. When you come head over to tag, sorry, now tag our code. When you head over to this place, you can see all of these things here are not actually displayed on the browser. They are not displayed on the browser, right? So let's look at that. Let's go back and check. No, not this one. All right, this one. So as you can see, those things are not displayed here. They are not displayed here, right? Because they are written inside of the head, and whatever that is whatever that is written inside the head tag are not being displayed on the web page, but it's being rendered. All right, the computer only this is being saved in the computer's memory. It's not being displayed on the web page. So if you're writing your code, as in beginners do a whole lot of weird things, putting codes inside their head tag and all of that, it's also weird, but I understand. As a total beginner, it's free to make mistakes. You're free to make mistakes and all of that. So don't forget to put in your tags inside your body, the HTML body. All right, that gives you that makes your browser to display that particular content you want to show. So if you keep writing your tags inside your head tags and all of that, you might run into a whole lot of errors and a lot of problems in the nearest future when you be working with the server side programming language. All right, so this is how we write our first HTML code. All right, so if you have come this far, congratulations to you. You step into being a HTML developer. All right, so see you on the next class. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and this is GCDIM. God can do it tech hub. All right, I still remain Dozier, and I'll be your tutor throughout this training. I'll hold your hand by hands and walk you through until you become perfect to write your own code. Feel free to ask questions. You can hit me up on WhatsApp and this number. Hit me on WhatsApp on this number, right? So if you're stuck or you're facing challenge, you can just hit me up, then we'll find a way around that. So give this a trial. When you have issues, you can come back to the group or hit me up on WhatsApp, then I'll be very happy to assist. Thank you, and see you on the next class.